Drive to Costco, Perrysburg.
Got it. Costco gas station.
Serving over 2 million satisfied customers, Fort Patriots is offering you true freedom through power independence this 4th of July. That's right, no more relying on a failing power grid when your family's safety's on the line. When you buy the Patriot Power Generator 2500X, you'll receive 2 solar panels absolutely free. Use the endless free power of the sun to keep your lights on, your TV running, your medical devices powered, and your fridge cold. Don't miss out. Head to FortPatriots.com to claim your own power independence and get 2 free solar panels with your purchase. Act fast. This deal ends July 7th. Visit FortPatriots.com now.
The right to bear arms.
Religious freedom.
Conservative principles live here.
We are
Sirius XM Patriot, Channel 125.
We are Patriot.
Go.
Chatsworth Osborne Jr., a.k.a. Tucker Carlson. He's been called famously now online Tucker Catarlson. That slobbering interview he did all over the internet around Qatar. He loves the dictators. Putin thought the interview was so pathetic, he humiliated Chatsworth afterwards, saying, I thought he was going to ask me some tough question. No, he enjoyed the subway system in Moscow. That's how far gone this guy is. He's taking you for a ride, America. The vast majority of America knows that, but there's some of you who worship this demigod, and you ought not to. He's taking you for a ride. Goes on, and then there's the question of the war itself. Iran may not have nukes, so keep in mind, Iran doesn't have anything we have to worry about, so we ought not hit Iran. But it has fearsome arsenal of ballistic missiles, many of which are aimed at U.S. military installations in the Gulf, as well as our allies and a critical energy infrastructure. The first week of a war with Iran could easily kill thousands of Americans. No, it couldn't. Unfortunately, it could kill thousands of Israelis. Because they have Tel Aviv and Jerusalem and major cities. But it's not going to kill thousands of Americans. It could collapse our economy. Yeah, that's right. We're relying on Iran for our economy. As surging oil prices trigger unimaginable inflation, it's unimaginable. Consider $30 a gallon gasoline. Yeah, think about it. It won't happen. We don't get our gasoline and oil from Iran. We're supposed to have policies in place where they can't even sell any of it on the open market, right? So how would it affect us? Just saying. But the second week of the war could be even worse, he says. Iran isn't Iraq or Libya or even North Korea, while it's often described as a rogue state. Iran has powerful allies. It's not part of a global bloc called BRICS. A moron. BRICS is an economic group. It's not a military group. It includes Brazil and India and others. Ladies and gentlemen, do you think Brazil and India are going to go to war so Iran can have nukes against the United States of America and Israel, do you? Well, apparently, Chatsworth does. Hey, and it's now part of a global bloc called BRICS. Again, an economic alliance which represents the majority of the world's landmass, population, economy, and military power. Iran has extensive military ties with Russia. It sells the overwhelming majority of its oil exports to China. See? He gives with one hand, he takes with the other. So Iran is a threat. Is Iran a threat or not a threat, Chatsworth? Do you know if it's a threat or not a threat? What does your own intelligence tell you, since you don't really rely on anybody else's intelligence, particularly the United States intelligence or anybody else's? It sells the overwhelming majority of its oil to China. And Iran isn't alone. An attack on Iran could very easily become a world war. We'd lose. You know, that's interesting. In the 1960s, Bill Buckley wrote a piece You remember Bill Buckley? I believe one of Chad's worst kids is named after Buckley, or at least his brother is. One of them is. One of them is named Buckley. I assume it's Bill Buckley. Or we're supposed to hate Bill Buckley now. So old school, you know. So was Aristotle, Cicero. You understand?
Hey, Z.
So old school.
Missed you during the day today.
Will Formosa liberate the United States from rumbles left and right? An essay collection published in 1963 by Bill Buckley. Bill Buckley, not Buckley Carlson. And so we come to liberal proposition 3, writes Buckley. All the roads that lead to the recovery of freedom or to the diminution of communist power, in this case Islamist power, are closed to us because to follow them would mean a risk of nuclear war. There is the clinching argument in all liberal rhetoric by which they paralyze all purposeful action everywhere in the world that aims at the improvement of the position of the free world. Here's the ultimate mischief of liberalism it's capable of performing. And in this, with respect to liberalism, most clearly does the work of the communists, or in this case, the Islamists.
That's what I figured. You already told me that, man. I knew that. I'm just giving you shit.
Discernible, namely, to terrorize the West into inactivity by threats of nuclear war, or in case
I'm feeling good. That was a vape
nuclear
cough.
war and World War III. Did you see all these Arab countries that want Iran destroyed? They may say one thing publicly, but privately, they've said something else. They want Iran destroyed because Iran tried to overthrow Kuwait. They want to overthrow Saudi Arabia. Egypt can't stand them. They've tried to overthrow Jordan because they know Iran wants to control the region. Cadgeworth knows it too. Which one of those Arab countries would join in with Iran to attack the United States and Israel? Can you name one, Mr. President? I mean, in April, the Egyptians, the Jordanians, they allowed the United States, they even allowed the Israelis to fire over their own airspace. The Egyptians were supportive too. Who helped Iran in April? Nobody. April of last year. But don't worry. Chadsworth, Tucker Carlson, has it all figured out like a good lib. What is he? To me, he sounds like Bernie Sanders. Am I missing something? He sounds like Bernie Sanders when it comes to national security. He just does. Look, it goes on. It's just so stupid. Just so stupid. Over at National Review, a friend of ours, Philip Klein, to be dismissed, of course, because he's Jewish, says Carlson offers two contrasting portraits of Iran. On one hand, he describes Iran as a nation that poses no threat and argues that there's no reason to fear gaining nuclear weapons. On the other, he warns...
Yeah, I think everything is up in the air right now. I think it's all WWE bullshit. Elon and Trump. I mean, they're really going at each other on X right now, but I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. I'm just going to stand by and watch.
Jews and U.S. missile defense systems, and
it sounds like they're just trying to weed out people.
There was barely any damage. Last October, Israel launched retaliatory strikes against Iran.
2 days ago,
missile production damaged much of its anti-aircraft capability.
he was saying goodbye to him
A single aircraft. What happened to the
in the Oval Office, and everything was cool. And now suddenly it's nuts. I don't believe it.
At least it said a severe setback. This is the first time Carlson has issued paranoid warnings about Iranian attempted retaliation after President Trump's successful...
I love to watch this shit, though. This is entertaining. I mean, this is real news, though. I mean, you gotta admit.
Carlson claimed the attack put the U.S. on the brink of war, quote-unquote. At the time, he also invoked the Iraq example, stating, stating of those who favored Trump's action, these are the same people who lied about Iraq's weapons of mass destruction way back in 2002. And doing that got us into an utterly pointless war that dramatically weakened our country. The people pushing conflict with Iran are the same people who did it then. Actually, Chatsborn, you were one of them. Again, nobody other than Carlson and his allies are arguing the U.S. is going to use the Iraq war model for military action against Iran. As things currently stand, Iran is marching toward a nuclear weapon, and the supreme leader has rejected President Trump's demand.
It is kind of disappointing to see him do this, but I'm one of those people that like to just stand by and wait and see, because Trump and Elon have been enemies before. I don't believe they are again. I don't believe they are right now either. They may be, but I like to stand by and watch.
In fact,
Oh yeah, it's huge. It's been really bad. You can smell it in the air here. Yeah, you can actually smell the wood burning in the air here. The same thing happened last year, remember?
Bernie Sanders or Barack Obama or John Kerry. You pick. You suckers that follow this guy, trust me, you're going to regret it one day. He's such a moron. How much time do I have?
Good to see you, someone.
All right, let's get to it. Wasn't that long ago?
I'm just heading to Costco. This is a very short stream. I'll fire it up again tonight on the main line. Probably gonna do a poker game tonight, but I need to get some stuff from Costco, some gas and some some fucking dog food, man. 6 fucking dogs. Yeah, it's coming straight down across the lakes.
He was called the godfather of the neoconservative movement. A very good man, by the way, unlike his son. Irving Kristol, founding father. And so there you have Irving, Hill, and Chadsworth Tucker. He chose to work in a magazine that promoted a neoconservative perspective. But not only that, Chadsworth, he went on C-SPAN at the time, talking about Pat Buchanan, trashing him basically as an anti-Semite. What's interesting?
Yeah, it's my oldest son's birthday Saturday too, so I'll be in Ann Arbor. Probably be in Ann Arbor for the next 2 weekends.
Take a listen.
Like tomorrow or Saturday is my son's birthday, and then next Sunday's Father's Day. And that's my first Father's Day where me and both my sons are fathers, so hopefully that'll be pretty special. Yeah, it is up in northern Toledo. Oh, there's one right at the next exit here too. It's been there a while though. Yeah, they're opening up all over here now. Yeah, he'll be 93, so 32. He'll be 32 this year.
Says things that are kind of kooky, and that's why he's being criticized. It's perfectly valid to question America's relationship with Israel. Israel has a lobby. It's perfectly fair, as far as I'm concerned, to beat up on Israel's lobby. But I don't think that's the reason that Buchanan is being labeled an anti-Semite. It's this kind of, as I've said, this relentless bringing up topics related to Judaism. I mean, famously, Pat, always beats up on Goldman Sachs, but never Morgan Stanley. I mean,
well, they're moving fast.
There's no point at which
Probably won't be too long before one's there.
I don't like the Jews. I think they're a sinister force in America. But I think, and it took me years.
If you had an extra $1.5 million, you could probably open one
the term anti-Semite
franchise.
But you reach a point when you say, well, gee, here's a guy who is going out of his way to defend.
They're going to get gas now because
they're accused Nazi war criminals.
It's not that busy. It's going to get busier.
Attacked Israel, who's attacked American Jews for supporting Israel unduly, who's implied that American Jews push America.
Why is all the gas tanks on the same side?
There really is. And again, I'm not
he's waiting,
subject,
so
but
I see why he's waiting.
That there is a pattern with Pat Buchanan of needling
now there's a spot
the
here.
Jews. Is that anti-Semitic?
Yeah.
Yeah. It is. In some sense, anti-Semitic. I mean, Pat Buchanan obviously has a lot of personal and affectionate relationships with people who are Jewish. So on a personal level, perhaps he's not, but on a
Be kind. That's so lame.
diplomatic level, I think he probably is.
I'll let you guys listen to this.
People should be allowed to have differing views on immigration. I think people should be allowed to point out the fact that there is an Israeli lobby, and yes, it's powerful, and debate the merits of that. I
Be right back.
I don't think there's, strictly speaking, anything wrong with that. But again, I think Pat Buchanan is part of the reason it's so hard to have that conversation, because he discredits it by his presence, because he gives people who watch him carefully the sense that he has another agenda that has to do with personal dislike, and that he believes in conspiracies, and that he believes that the Jews are this sinister, secretly organized force trying to affect American politics. And those aren't discussions I think normal people, sober people, should be having, because I think they're ludicrous.
By the way, he sounds like a preppy boy, doesn't he? He didn't go to my high school, I can tell you that. But that said, Doesn't it sound like he's pointing at himself about now? He does to me. That's just my opinion. What the hell happened to you, you jerk? What the hell happened to you? You bang your head or something? Because something is screwed up big time. I'll be right back.
Mark Levin. The Stanley Cup Final is on Sirius XM. Can the Florida Panthers repeat as champions? He scores, and the Panthers are back in front. Or will the Edmonton Oilers end Canada's 3-decade-long Stanley Cup drought?
3-on-1. Connor McDavid, right circle, dishes, gets it back and scores.
Hear the home and away broadcast of every game on Sirius XM in the car and the Sirius XM app. And talk about the quest for the cup on NHL Network Radio, Channel 91.
Not available in all states. Rates vary. With all the economic uncertainty these days, building a financial safety net for your family can be tough. But with term life insurance through Ethos, you can have peace of mind that no matter the market's ups and downs, your family's financial future is secure. Make sure they can pay the mortgage, tuition, and other bills if something happens to you. With Ethos, you can get covered in as little as 10 minutes, 100% online. Get your free quote at ethos.com/USA. That's ethos.com/USA.
Americans love using their credit cards, the most secure and hassle-free way to pay. But D.C. politicians want to change that with the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill. This bill lets corporate megastores pick how your credit card is processed, allowing them to use untested payment networks that jeopardize your data security and rewards. Corporate megastores will make more money, and you pay the price. Tell Congress to guard your card, because Americans lose when politicians choose. Learn more at guardyourcard.com.
Westwood Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-261-2626. That's 800-261-2626. 800-261-2626.
I'm Chuck McDowell, and no, this isn't a timeshare cancellation ad. I'm here to help you break free from your overpriced mobile carrier with Red Pocket Mobile. Did you know the average American wireless bill is $140 a month? At Red Pocket, plans start at just $10 a month for unlimited talk,
Only $140?
text, and data with absolutely no games and no price increases ever. But it gets even better. Red Pocket gives you your choice of all 3 major mobile networks for the very best 5G coverage anywhere you are. And you get to keep your phone
just
and
popped
number.
open their
At
drawers.
Red Pocket Mobile, you don't have to settle.
I gotta piss.
I don't see how anyone
All right,
can
guys.
say no to getting one
I'll see you guys later on the main channel. I will be doing some poker, if not just scanning. See you in a bit. Peace.